think I'm good to go. Thank you so much, pretty much, for tuning in. I am just excited. This is Fred Fitzgiles, and if you're on my page and you're seeing this, my label, okay, I can. I just tested to make sure you guys can hear me good, so you guys can hear me good. I'm excited about this. So, uh, I am I am really excited in reference to an event that I'm putting on next Saturday. Next Saturday, April 17th. This is designed for leaders, people who are in leadership, whether they're on their job, in their ministry, whether they're a coach or they're leading a team, or they're just looking, maybe they just got thrown into a leadership position. Most of the time when we talking about leadership, and whether you're in network marketing or Toastmasters or whatever it is, and you have to lead a team, typically you don't volunteer for it. Most of the time, people are, if in my experience in the last 50 years and 30 years I've been working, the best person on the team is considered the leader, or the person who's the most, who does, who's the best producer, or who makes the company the most money, right? That's typically the leader. But I'm excited because I have been a speaker, coach, and trainer, but I have been in. I can say I've been engrossed, or I've been really focusing in and leaning into personal growth, communication, and leadership. And for those who are for hearing this for the first time, my name is Fred Fitzgiles. I'm a certified John Maxwell speaking trainer, and I have really, really dedicated to learning. I mean, truly learning about leadership, all aspects of it, and really trying to get an understanding. And tonight I wanted to talk about a topic: are leaders born or made? Are leaders born or made? So this is not going to be for everybody. So typically, as a matter of fact, leadership is typically boring. I have a media background. I have a corporate America background. I've been working in 5 different industries. I've worked in the ATM processing industry. First job was actually the restaurant industry. I worked for McDonald's, and you were thinking, hey, where's leadership in McDonald's? Well, there's plenty of leadership. Guess what? You got to work with people, and a crew chief is a leader at McDonald's. So do not discount that. Whenever you have a situation where you are leading people, or where people have to follow your lead, and you have to set an example, you have to teach, train, coach, develop, and if you have influence, then guess what? You're a leader. But there's a lot of people talking about whether leaders are born or made. You ever talk to somebody and says, "Man, that guy's really good with people. He's a born leader." You might hear somebody else might say, "Yeah, they're a born leader." Yeah, well, I beg to differ to that. That's not what I've been taught. Typically, yeah, the one thing I can say is, yes, people are born, but leaders are not born. Well, okay, they are born, right? They're people, right? But there's no one that comes out of the womb, "Oh, that's a great leader," right? You don't really know until what happens to the person becomes a child. They get the blueprint from their parents. They start to grow. They listen. They listen. They listen. Then they see. Then they mock. Then they copy. And then they develop their own personality. And from that personality, you know whether they're aggressive, introvert, extrovert, whether they get along with people, whether they are the mind kid, mine, 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 mine. You know what that kind of leader is, right? The mind leader. I call it the mind leader, where everything is mine. it's as long as it's good, it's mine. If it's bad, it's yours. But so yeah, everybody's born, but I mean, everybody's born, of course, as a human being, but we're not born leaders. I believe that leadership is a choice. Leadership is a mindset. And so when I talk about leadership as a choice, it's important because I was reading an article online recently about leadership, and I really am targeted toward the young people, Generation Y, Generation Z, right? And the next generation, whatever the millennials that are out there. I saw a stat that said that in the next 5 years, almost 80% of our workforce will be millennials. Now, I'm not a millennial. I think I'm a 1970. So I guess I'm a what is it called? Gen Z or not Gen, oh, I'm definitely not Gen Z. What's my, the baby boomer. I'm right after the baby boomers, right? So when I hit 50, I recognize that over the course of my entire life, um, there have been several opportunities for me to determine whether I was going to step up, whether I was going to be the best, whether I was going to earn my keep, whether I was going to teach other people and really, really lead from the position of what we think a leader is. And I was reading a line on Entrepreneur Magazine. It says one of the most common misconceptions, this is what Ann Child says, is a quote, one of the most common misconceptions in any organization is that leadership is associated with a role or a title. And once you reach that specific rung on that corporate ladder, then you get that, or you get that position or that promotion. The thinking is, now I'm a leader. That's the thinking. But that could not be further from the truth. We are that may have happened back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and 80s, but this is a whole different world right now. And the truth is, the leadership is not something that just happens, right? And it's not something that you get if you have a specific role or title, even though, because people can get hung up on titles. Oh, Lord. If you got a title at the job, you got a certain, people listen, I work jobs where people get hung up on, what are those things that go on your desk? The little desk things. Have your little label on my desk, right? And their titles and their emails, all their email signatures. My title, VP and director and associate and senior associate and manager, and we get really, really crazy with that. We're looking for respect because of title, but to be honest with you, I've learned that leadership is a choice. And there may be some leaders that are out there right now that say, Fred, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been leading for 30 years. I've been doing this. I've been leading people. I got 1,000 people on my team. They all love me. And I've been leading them, and I know what I'm talking about. And you may have been doing this for 20 years, but I've been doing it for, let me tell you something. I'm qualified. I am not only been working 30 years in 5 different industries, including the ATM industry, the banking industry, the investment industry, the hospital industry, the publishing industry. In every single industry I worked in, I've had a leadership type position, whether it was leading people, whether it was leading a small team or a large team. And then I've also had over 20 years of personal growth and leadership experience in business and entrepreneurship and running my own business along with my brother and dealing with people. And I've also worked on different projects where I had to lead people and different personalities and things of that nature. So trust me, I know that I'm more than qualified to speak on this. But the main reason why I'm qualified is not because I got a PhD in this stuff, because that's boring. It's not because I got specific titles. That doesn't matter. It's because the greatest person that you're ever going to lead is yourself. That's the most important thing. Now that changed the dynamics. Everybody's into this diversity, inclusion, and all that good stuff, and emotional intelligence and all this kind of stuff. And that's all good. And NLP and the science and the neural linguistics and the language, that's all good. But none of that matters if you don't understand what leadership is and what leadership is not. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about next Saturday at The Leader Within You workshop. We're based on a book by John Maxwell, Developing the Leader Within You. We're going to do a 3-hour workshop, April 17th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And this is for people who are already leaders, people who have maybe gotten thrown into that position, and maybe you are struggling as a leader. Maybe you feel that you're not up to par, right? In this particular workshop, in these 3 hours, we're going to have music by the legendary DJ F3. So we're going to have some energy, entertainment. We're going to have some engagement, education, show you how to execute so that you can really impact and empower you as a leader. Because developing yourself to become the leader that you have the potential to be, once you develop that, it will change everything for you. So whether you're in network marketing and whether you're a Toastmaster, whether you're a parent, you're a coach, you're working, have a leadership position at your job, manager, senior manager, director, CEO, if you're an entrepreneur, this is for you. This will be an incredible workshop. Seating is limited, but I want to give you the opportunity. And let me just give you a little bit something, give you a little something, as I can say, because I'm going to be me, to really, really kind of bring home how important it is for you to develop the greatness that's in you and find that leader that's in you. And that's what I'm going to be talking about on this workshop. So I talked about tonight whether leaders are born or made, and I just share with you they are definitely not born. Leaders are made. Leadership is a choice. Think about when you think about leadership, when you first think about it, right? You're like, in school in the day, who was the leader in the school? Well, they were the, it could even go all the way back to who's the teacher in elementary school. Who wants to help me to erase the board? Back in my day, we used to volunteer to help out the teacher, and they used to call us the teacher's pet. Well, why do you think they call them teacher's pet? It's because out of 35, 40 kids, the teacher calls on 1 or 2 kids to help her with papers, sharpen pencils, erase the board. And those 2 kids or 2 or 3 kids, whether it's boy, girl, boy, 2 girls, whoever it is, she always gives an opportunity to see who is going to step up to the plate, who's going to rise to the potential. So she asks, how many in the class? How many here? Who wants to help me? Who wants to help me clean the board? Who wants to help me clean the blackboard? And I know they use blackboards today. We're not all on touch screens today, but back in my day, she used to write on the board, and then when she fills out the lessons for the day, she goes up and erases it and put the next lesson up and erases and put the next lesson up until it gets to the point where you start seeing the chalk like kind of beating into the chalkboard, and it needs to be washed. And she used to say, who wants to help me wash the chalkboard? And then when the kids are younger, I'm talking about, kindergarten, elementary school, everybody raises their hand. Me, I want to help. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to raise their hand, and she has to pick on some, and then maybe some days she picks one, or maybe boy, girl, boy, maybe. But eventually, the kids, get to take turns. But there's sometimes where teachers will purposely pick 1 or 2 kids, and then the rest of the kids, once she picks them, they go, oh. And you know what that all means? Oh man, that's the worst feeling in the world when you don't get picked. Like playing basketball, guys go to a basketball court and they got 20 guys there and they got to pay, maybe it's 15 guys there, and they're supposed to play 5-on-5, and they start picking their teams, you, and when you don't get picked, you're like, oh, because the basketball team's looking to pick the best of the best. The teacher's looking to pick the best of the best student. But all the students are great in kindergarten. All the students are great. But there's certain ones that are going to raise their hand. When everybody raises their hand, she tries to be fair. But some teachers pick one or two, and then everybody, oh. But what happens? She gives you an opportunity to go up, watch her clean the backboard. They used to have a bucket of water, a little sponge. She does it. She puts the sponge in the bucket. She wrings it out. And then she wipes the blackboard. And then you're watching, you're listening, you're learning. And she's watching you to see how if you listen, if you learn, or if you're looking back at your friends, snickering and laughing, and right, and you're trying to show off and you're not paying attention. If you're not paying attention, guess what? You don't get a chance to be able to help. But if you are paying attention and she wipes off the blackboard and then you do the same thing, then every time she needs to what? Clean that blackboard, she's going to call on that kid or that young lady to help out. Right? She picks out the kids who are going to get the job done. She picks out the kids, and then what happens is the kid who gets the job done and does the blackboard, they get picked, and all of the kids now look at them and say, wow, the teacher picked them, because who has the most influence in the room? Who's the leader in the room? The teacher. So the teacher picks the student, and the student goes and does the work. Guess who now has influence? The kid. And that influence is with the other 35, 40 kids. Just because the teacher, who was the leader of the room with the influence, picked them to do the work. So the next time she says, who wants to help me with the blackboard? Another set of hands are going to go up. But it's going to be less hands. And then next time, it'll be less hands, until she just only picks one or two or three that she can count on, to where she don't even have to show them anymore. They just do it. And sometimes, I know what I used to try to do. Sometimes I would go in and I see at the end of the day, and I see the teacher working on the lessons or giving out grades. I'll go, can I wash the blackboard? She goes, yeah, Fred, go ahead and do it. And I'll watch the blackboard, and some of my kids are laughing, and other kids are looking at me like, man, he's doing it. And the teacher didn't even ask him. He asked her. So now you're looking like the leader, right? So that's back in my day. That's the long version of it. Can start at that age, but it's a choice. It's a mindset. Whether it's elementary school, it usually typically then it goes to what? It goes to middle school. And then you have kids that's in what? Maybe they're the captain of a team. That leads to them having confidence. It builds courage. It builds that commitment. It builds a skill. And the more you develop yourself and you build your confidence, it builds your self-esteem. Now you're in that experience from elementary school of just, it starts off with a chalkboard and leads into student council, leadership, captain of a sports team, leadership, a editor of the school newspaper, leadership, right? That's where it goes there as well. And so that's how leadership was defined back in the day, but it wasn't cool. It was like, I was a geek and dork back in the day. And for all the cool people, student council, I don't think so, right? Oh, you're on the math team, I don't think so. Or you're helping a teacher. A lot of the times, they're people that are in, all your students, they would clown you and they would make fun of you when you wanted to get into those leadership positions. But what they didn't realize is that, yes, everybody is born, but not everybody is a born leader. Not everybody has influence. Leadership is influence. And that's it. That's what leadership truly is. So, no, leaders are not born. They are made. They're made over the course of time by them going first. them stepping up, them raising their hands and saying, hey, I want to do that. Them having a passion, them having desire. That's what leaders are. And what happens is when you get to the point where, now leadership is what can I do and what can I learn, and everybody else watch me, you got to be very careful, because when you get to the point where you are, prideful, you'll be proud of yourself, yes, but it can also turn into that other pride, which leads into bad leadership. I'm not talking about that pride that's saying, hey, I'm proud of what I'm doing. I'm talking about that pride where you feel like, that you're just the top of the top and everybody else is beneath you. And then now you're in high school and you start leading from that pride place, thinking that you're a leader, and people are following you because you scored touchdowns on the team, or because you're making money now, or because you got the girls, or because now you're thinking, people are following me and I'm the leader. I'm going, yeah, people are following you, but it does not mean that you're a leader. It doesn't mean that you're a leader. It just means that they want something from you. And when you got people following you because they want something from you, or because you can give them something, right? Or they can mooch off of you, or get money off of you, or get, get popular because of you, they're using you. But the minute you don't become popular anymore, and the minute you stop paying for their stuff, and the minute you stop giving out money, and the minute you stop scoring touchdowns, the minute you stop helping them with their tests, when they stop getting things from you, and they're basically use you up like a wash rag, and they're through with you, your influence goes down the tubes. And that, my friends, is negative influence. That's not leadership. So from the earliest days, that's what the definition is, but it's different right now. It is totally different. Leadership is a mindset, right? You have to choose to be a leader, okay? In the history of humanity, right now, with COVID-19 now, and all the things, I'm not going to talk political, but because of the political atmosphere, how it's been over the last 4 years, there's never been a time when choosing to be a leader right now is so important. We're needing young people to be able to step up and to start thinking differently, and to start really, really facing the difficult challenges and stuff that I don't care. Right now, we got the George Floyd trial going on right now. We got, we just got a new president there. Now we also have a lot of stuff going on. The culture, the country, the society. People are still, I see a lot of stuff on TikTok and Instagram. People are still fighting, and, we need leaders right now who's going to set a better example, who's going to be able to understand that we have to be able to connect with people on a whole different level. We have to diversify. We have to be willing to talk with people that don't look like us, that don't sound like us, that's not from the same hood that we're from, that's not from the same area we're from, that didn't grow up like us. We got to be able to go first and lead so we can connect with these people, especially now, right? With this last year, we've been facing uncertainty, right? Our current conditions, we got this pandemic that's still going on, right? So there's constant pressures. So the need for people to be leaders and to develop themselves as leaders is even more critical right now, right? And whether it's triggered by technology with social media and, or all the social pressures and just, things that are evolving and changing, right? We need leaders. So if you are a type of person who is already in a leadership position and you want to learn how to really develop your leadership and learn how to lead yourself first and learn how to be able to get better results, get more out of your team, get more out of your people, learn the skills that you need to be able to develop in order to be the best version of yourself, so that you can lead and learn how to lead. If you're stuck as a leader, if you can't get buy-in from your team. If you're in an organization and, if you're at a job and, you have a position and people don't respect the position and you're feeling like you're really not developing and you kind of stagnant. You're looking to make more money in your life. You want to make more money as an entrepreneur. You want to get more people to follow you because of the relationships. You want to build better relationships. I highly, highly recommend that you join me next Saturday. Get registered for my virtual workshop. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. next Saturday in the Leader Within You workshop. I'm going to put the link right in the comments. And if you like what you heard, this is the kind of information that we're going to help you to be able to develop yourself to become the leader that you have the potential to be. Because it will change everything for you. When you are a better leader, it will add to your effectiveness. You'll be more effective when you speak to people. You have better connections, right? You'll be able to subtract from your weaknesses and not focus so much on your weaknesses, but focus on your strengths. You're going to be able to take your workload if you're overwhelmed, and you need to be able to divide your workload so it can and put it out there, and you'll be able to multiply your impact. If that's you, if you want to get better, if you want to get more out of your team, if you want to be able to take your position and really maximize and take it to the next level, I highly recommend you click the link below in the comments. You go on my Instagram as well under Fred Fitzgiles. You go to www.itstimetolead.com, www.itstimetolead, ITSTIME2LEAD.com, and get registered. It's only $97, which includes a copy of the book will be shipped out to you. We're going to also have music with my brother, the DJ F3, and we're going just to be able to bring the energy so we can educate, we can empower, teach you how to execute, teach you how to grow, and really face those fears that's holding you back from being the best leader that you can be. So I just want to invite you to come out. This is the kind of stuff we're going to be talking about, and I am so honored to be able to serve you, because my goal is to be a servant leader. And this is not a motivational situation, okay? Motivation is okay, right? But the one thing about motivation is good for the moment, but then the next day you wake up and wonder why you were so motivated. No, my goal is to impact you in a way that you will never go back to the leader you were before you attended this workshop. Right? I'm going to help you to transcend your limiting beliefs, your fear, and be able to teach you how to connect with your people, how to understand, how to listen with empathy, how to take the time to walk slowly through your job, walk slowly through the crowd, connect with your people on a deeper level, and so you can grow your influence, because leadership is influence, and everything rises and falls on leadership. And it doesn't matter if you've been in leadership for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, 60 years. Listen, the journey continues. If you're a continual learner, right? When you're dealing with leadership, when you deal with influence, it is an ongoing process. You always have to retune. You always have to check back in. You always have to grow and evolve, because the person you were 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago is not the person that you are now. And the success, even if you have been a successful leader, guess what? There's another level for you, because success is one thing, right? As a leader, you may have reached financial success. You may have reached to the point where you are living where you want to live. You got a great team. You got a great company. Your bottom line is great. But then you're like, is this it? Like, I'm stuck. And your team is not really behind you. And my mentor, John Maxwell, told me, he says, listen, he that thinks he's leading and has no one following him is doing nothing but taking a walk. The team, if you really want to find out how good a leader is, look at his people. And we're going to be teaching you these strategies and the skills and the philosophy on how to get your people to like you as a leader, how to get people to know you better as a leader, how to get people to trust you better as a leader. And as a result, you'll be able to get more out of your people. This workshop is for you. So make the investment. You get a copy of the book. We're going to have music. We're going to have giveaways. Have an opportunity to network with people one-on-one. We're going to be using Zoom. So if you're serious and you want to take it to the next level, I highly recommend you join us next Saturday for this absolutely phenomenal virtual workshop, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Leader in You workshop. That's next Saturday. My name is Fred Fitzgiles. I desire to inspire you to for more. It's time to lead, and your success is my passion. This workshop is not to be missed. I'm telling you, register right now. Click below. Get your seat. Call 3 or 4 or 5 friends, 5 leaders right now. There are leaders right now that you know, people who are struggling. I can't get these people to do anything. I can't seem to move the needle. This is going to help you to move the needle in your career, in your job, in your business, in your family, in your marriage. I mean, it's all about relationships, right? You got to be able to learn how to lead yourself, even in your love relationships, in your personal life, your spiritual life. So you want to be able to develop the whole leader within you. Join us next Saturday, all right? So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. Go ahead, if you're watching this on a replay, just put hashtag replay and then get registered. Click the link to get registered for next Saturday's virtual workshop based on John Maxwell's book, Developing the Leader Within You, which will lead to a mastermind in the fall. But this is going to be a workshop just for 3 hours, and I'm telling you, within these 3 hours, it will absolutely change your life, change your career, help you grow, and take you to the next level in your leadership. So this is for people who have influence, who have a team, who are looking to be able to elevate themselves. We're going to help you to elevate. We're going to educate. We're going to entertain and help you execute at this virtual conference, virtual workshop, April 17th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. My name is Fred Fitzgiles. And for those who get registered, congratulations. And we'll see you on April 17th